Alright, I need to stop procrastinating now. So, this is my customized Voyager Megatron from Transformers Prime. I love him. I think he looks fantastic after, the entire repaint and, basically the entire makeover. And this is the Transformers R.E.D. Megatron. So, this is a non-transformable figure. And, originally what I wanted, I really like the head sculpt on this guy. It kinda is exactly what I tried to do with my customized head sculpt, because originally he had like an open mouth with like gritted teeth and stuff, and I didn't really like that. So this is basically exactly what I wanted from the beginning. If you've been around on my channel before, you might have seen my custom Optimus figure, where I pretty much do the exact same thing I'm planning to do in this video, where I just transplant the head from this guy onto this guy, because this guy is actually transformable and he actually feels pretty sturdy. He doesn't feel like this guy, which is really like you can see he's really gummy, and yeah, he just doesn't really feel that good to handle. The sculpt itself is actually really good. Like, he looks fantastic. Like, he looks very close to the show model, but pretty much the only thing I'm gonna salvage here is the head. Aside from that though, I'm also gonna take the fusion cannon, because I hate how big and humongous and bulky this fusion cannon is. So it's attached like this, and I'm gonna see if I can attach it to this guy. I'm probably gonna skip this arm blade because it's really flimsy and it looks really crappy. Like, you can see it's like bent and it just looks awful. But I'm gonna paint this purple because, like, I figured at least they could have painted this purple like in the show. Everything about this guy just comes across as so cheap. So yeah, I'm gonna try to remove the head from this guy by heating it up with a hairdryer, and then I'm gonna repaint it, and then I'm gonna stick it onto this guy here. So let's just start with heating up the head for this guy. So a quick little heat job later, and the head is off, and as you can see, the head is roughly the same scale as this guy. Slightly bigger, but then again, this guy has also a tiny head. It looks like it's gonna fit on here quite nicely. There might be like some curiosity as to why I do this in the first place, when this guy clearly looks better, because he doesn't he's just a lot more show accurate because he doesn't transform. The reason is that, one, like I said, this guy feels awful to handle. He's just like really gummy, and like, you hear that. And this guy is really solid and he can transform, even though I don't really care about that. But all the details are so much sharper on this guy. Like, you can see, it actually looks like proper layering. I just really like the way everything looks on this guy, except for the head. Well, I like my customized head quite a lot, but I think it's time for an upgrade. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this screwdriver. We're gonna unscrew the back of his head, and this is way too big, I just noticed, so that's unfortunate. So now we're at a pretty interesting point, because, well, first off, here are both the heads. You can see this one is slightly bigger. You can see the details, they're very similar. This is the original head connection joint for this guy. And as you can see here, I need to match the size of this. And it's quite a lot. But I think I'm gonna try to like grind everything down a little bit, because I need this to fit in this tiny little hole here. And as you can see, that's not really gonna work. And this is also pretty hard plastic. I keep snipping off pieces from the post here and just like putting it in here. And it's kinda sits there pretty well. But the thing is, the sculpt of whatever like this big bulges is completely blocking it from going down, so it's like flush with the body. So I'm gonna have to take this off, and it shouldn't really make an issue because I see the ball is so deep in that this bit is completely inconsequential. So we can probably just like cut it off. Okay, so the mission was a success, and as you can see, the post is in the body now. It sits on there like kind of snugly, and now also I have way more movement here in the neck than I used to have, because the other one was like pretty much just a swivel. It was a ball joint connection, but the head was so close to the torso that he couldn't do anything but like slightly turn and twist. This guy can do, he can tilt his head, he inquisitively, and he can turn around. He can not really look up. He can look not really down, but yeah, like it's way more. It's definitely an upgrade than from the old one. So now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna paint up this the same kind of like silver as I painted the rest of the body. And I don't really remember what I did, so I'm gonna refer to my old video for that. I think it was just like Vallejo silver mixed with some white, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, so I can't fully remember, but I think it was, at least we can start with Vallejo silver. You can like not even see anything on the camera here. It's just like, it looks like I'm painting on glare essentially. I got silver on, so it looks less like a plasticky piece of crap. And now I'm gonna use some lead belcher, or well, Vallejo gunmetal, and I'm just gonna paint in these little details here, make them a little bit darker. I might actually have to go in with black, because yeah, it's not really doing much. I'll just use black instead. Okay, let's try some Nuln oil before we go in with straight black. I'll just do black. There we go, head painted up. You can see like the shading I've done, and how just like the headpiece just fits in with the rest of the torso. So with that finished, now we have one last thing to do, and that is replace this cannon. And the cannon just comes off like this, and we're taking the cannon from the R.E.D figure, and we're gonna repaint it. I'm not really sure what would be the easiest way. Maybe the easiest way is just to like glue it on, but I don't really want to do that. I would prefer if it was detachable somehow. Maybe if I grind away like this part here, so it slots in here maybe? So what I did was I just grinded down the entire thing here. Then I just modified this until I got to this like kind of round nub. And now after some fine tuning, it sits on there pretty snugly. But I can also remove it in case I would ever want to. This looks really, really good. Already heaps better than this gargantuan thing. You can just see for comparison's sake, this sucks. So now we're gonna paint this one up, and that will hopefully be it. So I just gave it all a base coat of some spray paint silver I had, and now I have some Vallejo purple, and I mix it with some black, and we're just gonna kinda do a little base coat. So there we go, new Megatron complete, and we can take a closer look at him. So the head, I added those little white eye details, and just to break up the like red a little bit in there. And I don't really know what to say. The cannon turned out really nice. It's on there really hard, like I can't even move it now. And but I can still like force it out if I want to. Yeah, I don't really know. I feel like his silhouette is just a lot better now with this smaller fusion cannon. I don't really have any regrets about doing this at all. I think it looks fantastic. For comparison, here he is with my custom Optimus. If you missed that video, this is the much more accurate, well, show accurate Optimus head from also the R.E.D series. And here they are face to face. So Megatron is a little bit too short, well, quite a lot too short to be honest. I usually just bend the feet a little bit to give him some extra height. Then he gets to like here. Megatron is quite a lot bigger than Prime in the actual show, and one of the most common comments I get is that you should check out insert third-party figure because it's in the right scale and the sculpt is really good and etc. But so my answer to that is I don't really like buying third-party figures unless they're like of a character I know will never get an official figure. Like my entire channel is pretty much based on what can I do with official parts. So I like to using official parts as much as I can, and I find great creative solace when I do accomplish something like that. Really, really happy with how this turned out. Comparatively, my old Voyager custom head. This head isn't even necessarily bad, it's just, this is just like a little bit bigger, and I got some more articulation, and I really, really love the expression on it, and the paint job turned out great. So yeah, super, super happy to have this Megatron. And here he is, just because why not, with Starscream, also custom in case you missed that video, and they look fantastic together. So thank you for watching, and hope you enjoyed.
One shall stand, and one shall fall. You, Optimus Prime! At last we take our rightful places, Optimus, as gods, wielding the power of the cosmos.